Why federal government may not negotiate or release Nnamdi Kanu stakeholders. This is dangerous. Welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're just joining us, please kindly subscribe to this channel and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Despite the readiness of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, to negotiate with the federal government of Nigeria, it has been invoked by the court. Stakeholders doubt that the federal government, led by Bola Tinubu, would be willing to consider that option. Barrister Emeka Iono, a Lagos lawyer who spoke to Sunday Independent on the renewed call by Chief Clerk, said accepting Kanu's willingness for negotiation would have been a smart way to end the economic crisis brought about by sit-at-home in the southeast region through the former President Muhammadu Buhari, though the former President Muhammadu Buhari refused to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from detention after his abduction from Kenya. Even despite a court ruling in October 2022 ordering his release, there has been calls on President Bola Tinubu since his inauguration in May 2023 to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A year later, the president has not heeded the said calls. In March 2024, a federal high court judge denied Nnamdi Kanu bail. I believe he has appealed. However, more bodies like Ohaneze the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, CBCN, etc., have also called for his release. The latest is the call for Chief Edwin Clark and other statesmen and those 50 lawmakers who wrote President Bola Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu's release, in my opinion, will pave the way to economic prosperity and security in the southeast. His continued detention has been the major cause of insecurity in the southeast. The Monday sit-at-home has paralyzed the economy of the southeast by making many businesses lose billions of naira every week, he said. Other statesman Edwin Clark recently added his voice to the renewed call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Julius Adaguna, a media executive and public affairs analyst, said, if you can recall what Nnamdi Kanu did during NSAS crisis, most especially against the personality and business of Senator Ahmed Tinubu, as a former Lagos state governor, President Tinubu will not jump at freeing the IPOB leader. Besides, it does not seem as Kanu's IPOB followers are ready to allow peace to reign with what they are doing in the southeast. They need to humble themselves before the Nigerian government to allow peace to reign. You cannot be pleading for an accused person standing trial and be causing trouble at the same time. Whoever wants to plead for Kanu should be sure that peace reigns before and after their request, which will lead to his eventual release by the court. I wish them all the best. Barrister Blessing Joseph, a human rights lawyer, in her contribution told Sunday Independent that Nnamdi Kanu's release on bail will be difficult. According to her, her view was based on the fact that Kanu jumped bail 2 years after his arrest in 2015, noting that he was first rearrested in 2015 and still remained in detention. Barrister Agan said the president, the International Human Rights Protection Service, Florida, USA, Nigerian chapter, stressed the Supreme Court of Nigeria upheld the federal government appeal The Supreme Court set aside the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which ordered the release of Nnamdi Kanu and then ordered the resumption of his trial before the Federal High Court, Abuja, on terrorism-related charges. Meanwhile, Honorable Charles Nnk, the National President of Eastern Union, EU, has said that the organization supports Nnamdi Kanu's consideration for out-of-court settlement with the federal government. Speaking with Sunday Independent from his Abuja base, Honorable Nnk stated that the EU, a political pressure group for the people of the old Eastern region, support the arrangement, which he described as a shortcut solution to the crisis that has almost polarized the Southeast. Nnk stated, the speculations that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is considering out-of-court settlement with the federal government is a way forward and a sort of shortcut solution to solving the long overdue problem that has almost crippled the robust economy of the Southeast and some parts of South-South. He recorded that many prominent citizens at several times had suggested to the former President Muhammadu Buhari's government to seek a political solution to resolving the problem, but regretted that that administration enjoyed the pains and frustration of the Nigerians, hence it remained adamant to the core. According to Nnk, this is a man legally adopted by the government, and ever since the government has kept amending their charges against him and yet to no avail. Individuals, including foreign governments and civil society, have been calling on the government during and after Buhari to seek a political solution and then release the IPOB leader so that peace and normalcy can once again return in the Southeast. But the various governments remained adamant, probably enjoying the crisis and sharing of innocent blood in the East, especially in the Southeast. It is very obvious that the government has no genuine case against Kanu, but has been detaining him out of hatred. This position was confirmed when others accused of the same crimes as Kanu have long regained their freedom and are moving freely. Therefore, it will be a good man, both for the government, Kanu and the people of Southeast in particular, if the Tinubu-led federal government can at this point begin to retrace its step towards obeying court orders and justice. Political solutions to resolving the lingering problems are believed by many as a way to go and the way forward. I believe too that the federal government right now has too many problems to focus on rather than continuing to entangle itself with baseless cases against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The continued incarceration of Kanu will no doubt continue to be a distraction to any serious government and also abuse of his fundamental human rights. When Kanu stated his desire for negotiation at the last session in the court, the federal government lawyer Awomolo San responded that he had earlier informed the defendant that Kanu lacked the powers to embark on such negotiation since it was not part of the flat that was issued to him by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. Amowolo maintained that only the AGF had the authority to negotiate or take further steps in relation to the matter, noting that the case bordered on alleged terrorism. Okay, don't also forget that we have cases that bordered alleged terrorism, like the one with the Miete Allah body joke. He has been released. In fact, his case has been discontinued. What of Showari, Sunday Igboho, and all that? So why is Nigeria government not releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu?